All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all that Staten Island, my homebro, Brooklyn. Back at another video. This will be another Super Bowl week video. No, Super Bowl week's next week, and it's coming up. So I've been doing Super Bowl NFL videos all week. Uploaded 2 yesterday on the Greatest of All Time series, Super Bowl 42 and Super Bowl 43. Now, this is not gonna be an entry to the Greatest of All Time series. This is gonna be my breakdown of Super Bowl 43 or Super Bowl 48. Excuse me. Super Bowl 48, by far, to me, is the worst ass whooping ever handed out in Super Bowl history. By far, the worst ass whooping ever. Even above Super Bowl 24. Now, for all you are NFL historians, Super Bowl 24 was played by the 1989 San Francisco 49ers, arguably the greatest team in NFL history, in the 89 Broncos. Who just had John Elway and, Steve Atwater. But Steve Atwater was like a rookie. So it was really just John Elway out there by himself. The other way been previous Super Bowls, and Super Bowl 21, lost the 86 Giants. Super Bowl 22, lost the Redskins. Didn't make it in 88, but made it back in 89. Of course, he had no help, you could argue, so he got his ass whooped all 3 times. In that Super Bowl, the 49ers scored 55 points. The Broncos only scored 10. Okay? So you can say that was the worst ass whooping, but this by far to me was, because the Broncos were loaded. Broncos were a stacked team. At least with John Elway, that 89 Broncos team, you could say it was just John Elway. At least on offense. Again, they had Steve Atwater, who recently got into the Hall of Fame after all these years. But this team, like the Broncos, were the number 1 scoring offense in the league that year. I remember watching that season. I thought they were going to win Super Bowl. Peyton threw 55 touchdowns and over 5,400 passing yards, which are both still NFL records to this day. He was the MVP. Broncos, no Sean Marino at running back. And I believe no Sean Marino is from Queens, if I remember correctly. I believe he's from Queens, but raised in New Jersey. They had Demaryius Thomas, they had Eric Decker, they had the tight end Julius Thomas, and they had Von Miller on the defense. The Broncos were a stacked team. They went 13-3. I'll never forget this game. They played the Cowboys in Dallas, and Tony Romo and Peyton dueled it out. It ended with the Broncos winning 51-48. They were just loaded. But Seattle was a great team as well that year, too. Their defense, the Legion of Boom. And I'm going to do a video on the rise and fall of the Seahawks, because to me, I don't think they're ever going to get back to the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. I like Russ, but I don't think they're ever going to get back. But I'm going to do a video on that eventually. I'm getting to it. But, the Seahawks were good that year. Russ was in his second year after his rookie year. They went to the NFC Championship game, lost to Atlanta. Or excuse me, went to the divisional round, lost to Atlanta, not the NFC Championship game, because the Niners won the Super Bowl that year, not Atlanta. But, Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch in his absolute prime. You had Richard Sherman, who was probably the best defensive player in football of the year. He probably could have got Defensive Player of the Year, but he didn't. They gave it to Luke Kuechly, the middle linebacker for the Panthers. But, Bam Bam, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Michael Bennett, KJ Wright, Bruce Irvin, Bobby Wagner. This was the height of the Seahawks defense. This is the height of the Legion of Boom. They went 13-3. They had an intense rivalry with the Niners. I remember watching that NFC Championship game against the Niners. That was the best game. That was probably one of the best playoff games of the last 10 years of the decade. 2010-2019 decade. The 2013 NFC Championship game is probably the best playoff game of that decade. But, of course, it ended with Sherman's tip to, Malcolm Smith in the end zone, who intercepted it. And, of course, Sherman tried to dap up Michael Crabtree. Crabtree just shoved him in his helmet. And you all know, I'm the best corner in the game. You try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. And it was set. Broncos, Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Now, I foolishly picked the Broncos, and I kind of realized from the beginning of the game that it was over. When that center snapped it over Peyton Manning's head and it went to the end zone for safety, I kind of knew deep in my mind it was over. Super Bowl 48 was a great Super Bowl. The Super Bowl commercials were funny. I'll never forget the Radio Shack, the 80s call commercial, and then they had a commercial with the Eminem, the yellow Eminem got kidnapped. That was an overall fun Super Bowl, but this was by far the worst ass whooping in Super Bowl history. Considering Peyton was the MVP, he put up a historic season. The Broncos' offense was historic, and Peyton's of course going to be in the Hall of Fame. Von Miller was on the defense; he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So it's kind of like the same as the '89 Broncos. One Hall of Fame on offense, one on defense. But those guys, those Broncos receivers in '89, that Broncos team couldn't compare to this one. I'd take this Broncos team over that one. So I say top to bottom all around, this Broncos team was more loaded. But This was the result. They got their asses whooped, man, 43-8. And Cam Chancellor should have been the MVP, by the way. I think he had what, 2 interceptions, but they gave it to the linebacker Malcolm Smith because he had that pick six. Credit to him. So, but like I said, worst ass whooping in Super Bowl history. Period. Super Bowl 48. Well, congrats to the Seahawks, and I'm gonna do a video on them later. All right, see y'all.